Good morning, everyone. Can you see and hear us clearly? Could you please leave thumbs or plus in the public chat so we can see that you can see us and hear us? And hear us.
Okay, yes. Someone said yes. Yes.
Great. So then everyone can see us. That's perfect. Then I will start as introductions. So my name is Turana. I'm the founder of Femight. If you haven't heard of it before, it's a global female empowerment platform, which is based in Glasgow, but we have members from all over the world. And we empower women through one on one coaching, group coaching, webinars, and workshops like the one you will have today, and networking. So, these are the key aspects that we are focusing on. And today, our guest, Tolulope, will tell us about the hurdles in business, the challenges and opportunities, because Tole herself is an accomplished business growth expert with 15 years of experience, and she's been driving growth and delivering exceptional results across diverse industries, which include fintech, regtech, public sector, commerce, and energy sector. And currently, she's building her own app which is called JoyeDapp. Am I pronouncing it right, Tolu?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, JoyeDapp. So it's an app that is designed to address an underserved market in women's health, which is postnatal depression, and probably not many people are even talking about it. So it is going to provide critical support and resources to empower women across the world. So, welcome to Lulafe. Thank you so much for joining us today and willing to share your valuable experience and knowledge with us. So, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Turana. Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here. Excited, actually. We've been on this for a while, so just almost like you're birthing a baby, right? I mean, maybe not as big as a baby, but fantastic. I'm really excited to be here to share my experience with everyone and also learn from everyone. One of my mantra is to unlearn, relearn, and just continue learning. Learn, unlearn, relearn. Because sometimes one of the things that we know, some things that we know may not be completely true. So the ability to just, be open-minded and learn from others. That's what I'm hoping to be able to get from this webinar. Like Turana has said, the topic of my presentation is building a business as a woman, the key challenges and opportunities. I will be sharing from my perspective, my experience, and also bringing the global statistics into play. Just to be sure everyone can hear me and you can see me, a thumbs up or a yes would do so that I just go ahead. Yes, I'm waiting for one yes. Okay. All right. So this is the agenda. Again, I like to do things orderly. This is what I would do talking through an introduction of myself, the landscape of women in business, the key challenges women face, turning challenges into opportunities. Thank you. Building a GTM strategy, and GTM means go to market strategy, conclusion, and of course, thanks. And the floor would be open to any questions. You can hear but cannot see me. That is one small challenge. Not sure why my video is on. Because I really like you to see my beautiful face. Switch camera. Cancel. Okay, let me just, yeah. Can you see me now? Can you see me? Turana, can you see me? Just to be sure. Yee. Okay. All right. So the agenda, like I said, is I mean, I just ran through the agenda. So let me introduce myself. I'm Tolu Abikoye. You can call me Tolu. I'm the founder of Connecting Hands Limited. I'm a business growth expert. So that means even right now, as I'm managing and building Connecting Hands, we are building the app. I also work on part time, excuse me, on part time basis for two startups, right? What I do is to ensure that their business development strategies are aligned with what they want as a business. I also ensure that they get leads as at when it is due. I also ensure that their customer acquisition strategies are in line. So I help to attend events, I help to build their brand visibility while managing and building my own startup, because right now I'm pre revenue, so something has to fund what I am building, right? So I wear multiple hats. What I am speaking on is one thing that is very dear to me, is my passion project. No, let me rephrase that. Is a mission that I am working on because I realize that it has a ripple effect that is beyond me. And because I think globally, I want to be able to provide this platform with the reach to the reach of several people, right, that will be able to interface with it from anywhere in the world. And I see that we have a lot of people from several places today. So my goal is to ensure that JoyeDapp gets to the hands of several mothers. It provides support, accessibility, and that desire that a mother is looking to find. And how it started for me was based off of my experience and shared experience with several people. So, very close to heart was a family friend that actually went psychotic. But I realized, having related with her, that this was lacking and quite a number of things. And that was what birthed the need to build a platform that is gives a 360-degree holistic view of what it can impact. My career, like Turana mentioned, I have been in fintech, in regtech, payments, making sure that the ripple effect of what I'm doing cascades time. I worked with a unicorn for over 10 years and I grew through the ranks, managing regions and a portfolio of businesses in millions of dollars. After then, I got tired because I was there for 10 years, like, and the company was growing, but I wanted something more. And so I joined a global company, although that was slightly smaller, but their reach was more, right? And so I was alongside the team responsible for building their market across Europe and Africa. And I did that for 2 years in cybersecurity. And then I moved over to the UK and I started working on with a UK startup. I mean, just now I'm working with more than one, but that's over a year ago that I started then. And right now I have founded three companies, one by myself and two with several other people, ensuring that what I have learned or I'm still learning from my experience as a business growth expert, from the customer acquisition point of view, from revenue generation point of view, from marketing point of view is giving back, right? You can have all that information in your head. There has to be a way to move it out so that new information or new lessons or experiences can come in, and you can sort of, learn from that. So one of the things that has guided how I move is that um the power to achieve your goals is with you. Like, as a woman, if you see, my first slide has a woman and a group of women, right? One, we just need to understand that as women on our own, like as an individual person, you are able to achieve what you set out in your minds to achieve. This is not to say there won't be setback. This is not to say there won't be times where you feel down and alone, and you just feel like, okay, maybe I should just give up on this, or I should just take some time off and just rest and not do anything. No, you can always, it is so different. You can have all of that. So I'll just speak on the landscape of business globally and the current state of entrepreneurship, if you put it in classified sex, so male and female. So in this instance, what, by statistics, it says one out of three startups are founded by women. And to be honest, that's a good number. Again, but we can move it up to two, right? Or three. That's ambitious. But globally, one in three startups are founded by women. And that's because, women easily are feelers. And so the tendency for them to spot a problem is there. This is not to say they are not going through life or they are not going through their jobs or one thing or the other, but the ability to spot problems are there for women. Women-led business, receive just 2% of venture funding. Again, that's where one of the problem lies, because women juggle a lot of things. They are being drawn by family, they are being drawn by work, they are being drawn by business, they are being drawn by a lot of things. And so the tendency for a venture capitalist to look at it and say, okay, because she's a woman, she might not be able to balance this properly, and so that is what is resulting for these 2%. If there was a time in the last year in the UK where there was an innovate funding, and there was, it caused a lot, the ripple effect of that news, because people did not get what they were told that we were going to get, and there was a backlash, but it was eventually resolved. However, we're just saying that that number can go up. That number should go up. And the truth is, despite the barriers of women-owned business, they contribute significantly to worldwide. So if you look at the co-owner of TomTom, like, she's a woman, and very fantastic woman. I was at an event and she spoke very well. So a lot of times it gives you that relatability to be able to understand that if a woman can do this, yes, I can. It helps you break that mental barrier of your identity. It helps you break the mental barrier of the fact that you cannot do it, or it helps you challenge what the status quo is, what the statistics are saying. So in my head, I think, like, why can't I be one person that would be a contributing factor to these statistics? Another thing is societal and market barriers. Again, there's gender bias, lack of representation in leadership position. Those are the things that we have to contend with as women. However, you cannot out you cannot push aside um ability. You cannot push aside the fact that someone can deliver on what you expect them to do. You cannot push aside achievements. No, you cannot. So again, the ability for, as a woman, to strive to ensure that regardless of what the landscape of business globally looks like, I'm going to be an outlier, right? I'm going to go against the odds and just do it. Again, there are opportunities that are reshaping industries. So there's room for innovation in energy sector, in the health sector, which I just got myself into, in gaming, in automation, in in several spaces, digital spaces, content creation. I mean, a lot of things are open to the market right now that women can delve into AI data, and delve into and make something for themselves so that people can relate with them in that area. And like I said, this is not to say while you want to, change the status quo of things, or while you want to be an additional number that is an outlier, there won't be challenges. Oh no, there will be challenges. Women face quite a number, and I'll just mention some. And again, I want this to be interactive, so I'll be asking questions or maybe even create a poll just to get it, I mean, very, so that first of all, I'm not talking to myself. Second of all, I know that we are in this together. So, like I said, accessing of funds, these are one of the key challenges that women face. So, securing loans, grants, investments due to systemic barriers is something that has been for a long while. However, a lot of things are changing, and that's because women have started speaking up. Women have started asking questions. Women have started asking for feedback, because what feedback allows you to do is to be able to say, I mean, based on what happened last year, I do not want to repeat. Or in the event that the grant happens twice a year, I don't want to repeat the same thing that happened maybe in February, in September. I want to be able to take the feedback from February and work on it and present something better in September. So again, the challenge of access to funding. Sometimes people don't even hear about these fundings, right? Until maybe you have 1 week to go and you're in a bit of a pickle, you're in a tight spot, and you cannot find the right resource or partners to help you in that journey of getting the grants. And in as much I'll speak to the challenges, I'll also speak to what I have seen to be a solution on my end. So what I do right now is to subscribe to grants and information pages that speak to what I am doing. So remember, I said that I am in three startups at the moment. So imagine the number of grant notification and information notification I get. And that's because, and to be honest, maybe sometimes I don't read all. To be honest, again, like I said, this is a very frank and open space. But I try to get that information in, and I try to filter my mailbox regularly to ensure that I do not miss anything. I don't miss out of deadlines. I don't miss out of partnership invitations and all of that. I don't. The worst thing that can happen is that I get a no. The best thing that can happen is that I get a yes. Even when I get a no with why, right? And I know what to do afterwards. Sometimes I get a no with the why that I do not agree with, because maybe there's bias in that feedback. But again, that's just what it is. There are some things that I cannot change. We need to know, as women, as individuals, like what you cannot change, and don't fight about it. Just leave as it is and continue. So one of the key challenges that I mentioned is access to funding, and what you can do to combat that is to get registered with fund application, grants application, maybe investor meetings, or join groups that will give you this information. Sometimes it's just by knowing that you take the next step. Sometimes is in, like I said, the feedback that enables you to know what the users are looking at. So that's one thing. Access to funding might be small, but are you doing yourself a service by positioning yourself to hear, right? Hear what they're doing in the healthcare sector, like hear what they're doing. Are they doing certifications? So, for instance, right now, I know that clinical trials have the way clinical trials have been done, it has changed. So I am positioned myself to align with that. I have reached out to several healthcare services, and I'm hoping to get feedback from them. The other one is access to the right partners. I have realized in my short journey in business and in work that you need the right partners. You need that person or people that would help to fit the jigsaw puzzle. So because when you're putting a round peg in a square hole, you're really missing it. I mean, it might go in, but that balance will not be there. So again, it is essential to get the right partners. And for myself, how have I gotten the right partners? I talk to people. I talk to people. I am not, okay, there's something that I say that I don't have shame. I don't have shame in asking. I don't have shame in saying, can you help introduce me to XYZ? I do not, because the worst thing you can say is no or ignore me. And the best thing you can say is yes, I will. And to be honest, the day you say you will, I would remind you. I mean, I will not be a pest. So just in case I come to meet anyone on this call, I will not be a pest. But I would remind you to say, have you had a chance to reach out to XYZ? And it happened to me recently. Someone said they were going to reach out, they were going to help me introduce me to someone because we had a very fantastic discussion. And she said she was going to introduce me to someone. And 2 weeks, I did not hear anything else. Like, okay, again, culture, you need to understand when to reach out to people and when not to. So I just reach out to her to say, hey, how are you? Again, because life can happen, she might be going through her own stuff and I am not priority at that time. So I reach out to her to say, hi, how are you? And she gave me feedback to say, yes, she did reach out to the person, and she apologized for not getting back to me, but the person is going through stuff at the moment, so she's not able to respond to me. And that was fine, right? Again, it would have been a good way to go, but that was fine. I'm just saying that by asking, um you get who you need to get, and you don't just ask once. One of the books that I run my life by is ask and ask and ask, seek and seek and seek, knock and knock and knock, because what you need sometimes is just one yes, sometimes you need four yeses, right? But again, is consistency, resilience that helps you to be able to access the right partners. You know, I cannot I mean, overstate gender bias, to be honest. It's just what it is. But what I have realized is that when you are when you are making waves, when you are creating impact, it will speak. So, regardless of your gender, the focus should be, I want to create impact. The focus should be, the mindset is that I want to create impact. And sometimes some of the impact that we create might not be visible in our time, it might be for another time, but when we have that in our mindset, it cascades down. So it even cascades to the people that you work with. It cascades to the customers that you provide service to, or the business, if you're in a B2B business or a B2C business, right? Or a B2G business. It cascades there, and people can see that, okay, I mean, it's not just about who she is. It's not just about that she's a female. It's not just about the color of her skin. Is that she can deliver. She can deliver. And because she can deliver, that is why we would entrust her with this board membership, or we entrust her with being a trustee, we entrust her with being the chairwoman, we entrust her to be XY. And there's sometimes you see that there's some things that you do not even apply for, that people start to reach out to you for. Again, that is key. So I'm calling out these challenges. I'm also calling out what the problem, I mean, the solution, or what you should do can be. Work life balance. Okay, so one thing that I did not mention in my introduction is that I currently, well, not currently, I have only three wonderful boys, um, and is a handful, right? I struggle. I am between. So if you see the picture, the image that I put there is the ability to balance all of this. We have football games that we need to attend to. We have parents meeting that we need to attend to. We have, a whole lot of things that we need to attend to. But the truth is, I would not, I would not change it for anything. I love my kids. I love my husband as well. And one of the things that I feel blessed with is that I have a very supportive husband, and he's very hands on. And I was just telling Turana that I got home yesterday at past 5 a.m. That's because I went for an event. And, the school the next day or that morning. So, again, taking a nap, and my husband had to do school runs and all of that. But I'm just saying that because I have a husband that is very supportive, I have children that are growing, and supportive in their own way, right? Um, it helps with the balance, but they are my priority. Like, if I cannot impact them, my immediate family, I wonder what I'm talking about. If they cannot come out to say, good things about me, I hope. I wonder what I am doing. I'm just trying to say it is important to balance work with life. It is important to balance family responsibility alongside growing a business. I try to get them involved in what I'm doing because I want to leave a legacy in as much as I'm balancing it. So I get them involved. I always wanted a girl, but hey, I'm the only girl, and I'm happy with it. But I'm just saying that I know what my priorities are, and I know how to balance this. Again, there are times where I feel overwhelmed. Do not get me wrong. There are times when I'm like, what did I get myself into? Like, oh God. But again, it is essential to know when to balance, just to flip on the right access to partners. So now I have gotten a partner that would work with me on the business, and that helps. It helps me to shed load. It helps me to not be in the center of everything, but also be in the center because I have someone that is supportive as a business partner and co-founder that is doing some of the things that I do not have expertise in. For instance, technical expertise. I do not have that. I'm non-technical, but I have baseline knowledge, right, of the technicalities of things, because I do not want to be in a conversation with an investor and he just speaks a lingo and I'm like, he's speaking gibberish, like, like I cannot answer, which is okay. But it's also good that I understand baseline, fundamental information of what he's talking about, because it presents me in a way that allows you to trust that Tolu is not just there to make money. Tolu is invested in this business. So I should invest, because a lot of times, again, when we want to liking the business environment in the United Kingdom with the business environment in the United States. In the United States, I've heard it a number of times that they invest in people. So I would rather invest in myself, not just because I want investors to see that no, she knows how to talk the talk, she knows how to walk the walk. No, I want to invest in myself because I am interested in the progress of my business. So what if sometime in the future my partner says they're not going on this journey with me and I'm left high and dry? No, I want to be able to bounce back, and that just speaks to the resilience part of it. So the next, so these are the key challenges, out there, but there are real challenges, subtle, soft issues that people do not address as women. And I would, that's what my next point is. So the real challenges: competition. Oh my God. There's a lot of competition out there. First off, male and female, then secondly, female and female. But the truth is, it's not needed. Like, I've been saying a lot of mantras, and please, by all means, you can adopt it. One of the mantras I live by is: a candle does not lose anything by lighting another. it only makes the room brighter. I'll say that again just so it can sink. A candle, just imagine a candle, it doesn't lose anything by lighting another candle. It only makes the room brighter, and if I might add, hotter. If I light someone else, if Turana lights me, for instance, she gives me information or she gives me counsel, it doesn't have to do with our age differences, nothing. It doesn't have to do with the sector that she's in. So far, I feel like I can light her again, maybe to say, I think you can do this better. I think we can do this better. So far, I light her. Sometimes lighting doesn't necessarily mean money. It can. Sometimes lighting doesn't necessarily mean it can be information, it can be a contact, it can be information, it can be a contact, it can be anything. But just please light a candle. Like the world like I said, there's already competition between male and female and female, we can just avoid it. So one of the things I would leave with you today is light someone else, light a candle. Your wick, the wick is that thread, that very tiny thing is in the candle. You know, when you're lighting someone else, it doesn't reduce your wick. No, it doesn't reduce the height or the width or anything about the candle. To be honest, it doesn't. It just, if you put it side by side, you see that the heat is more. So please, let's kill the competition. Thank you. Let's kill it. Like me, let me light you. And like, yeah, it's just amazing how it can make a lot of difference. And something that I like to, if you hear I use it a lot, is ripple effect. So imagine, I don't know about you, if you go to the pond or the ocean, and one of the things that you can do, I used to do it as a child, is to throw a stone into the water, right? I know when you throw a stone into the water, if you remember, there's a round and circle, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the ripple effect of a lot of things that can happen. So the ripple effect of a bad word that you can say, or a your unwillingness to share, that's the ripple effect. So if you realize that there's a ripple effect of anything that you do, might as well make it the best thing, so that the ripple effect is far reaching. Like I said, my mindset is global, my mindset is mission driven. I do not think that everything that I do right now would be for now. I know that some of the things that I do right now has an impact maybe in the life of my kids, and I work with that. Fear of failure, huh? I mean, how many of you have gotten rejections? Show of hands. My legs are up as well. So if you see I'm dangling. Rejections. Oh my God. Oh, I started. I didn't get that. Okay. I started, sorry, that was Siri. I started a business in February last 2024, and it didn't work out. There were red flags. Red flags. Another mantra is when the facts change, I change my mind in a way that would help me. When the facts change, when it's not looking like it, I move on. Oh, I move on. Yeah, it might hurt. Sometimes you get some rejections and you're like, oh my God, when you remember how many hours you put into that work, you're like, no, no. But the truth is that that's how it is. That's just life. And we're resilient, right? Just stand up and just move. But when the facts change, please change your mind. And it just ties with the fear of letting go. Like I said, it's easy for me to let go, but I filter what I let go. So like the balloon, and you just let it go, and it just goes up, and maybe it goes away from where you are, and it just, if it's a kite, it will hang somewhere else, maybe wait for you in the future, but the balloon just keeps going and going. Do you get what I mean? However, When you're letting go, filter what you're letting go. Don't just let it go, but filter it. Have someone that you bounce ideas off, or you bounce your decision off. Have a sense checker. You don't need to have everyone, you do not need a crowd. Just have a sense checker that you can bounce your idea off, and don't feel like that person is going to steal it. No. Okay. Again, I have the fear of stealing my ideas. Look at the bad man I use. Like, if I tell you what I'm working on right now, let me see. Okay, maybe Toraya will just steal my idea and run with it. And she just, and the next time I see her, we're not able to have a conversation because she's stolen my idea. The truth is that, they say it all the time, no idea is novel, but Tolu Abikoye is novel. I do not exist anywhere. And so you can, even though I share my idea with you, you cannot steal my execution. It's just that's what it is. So I'm happy to bounce, to sense check, to ask for your opinion, but the fear of having your idea stolen, sometimes it keeps us from getting those hard questions asked, because sometimes, a lot of times actually, when they ask you those hard questions, it helps you to think. It helps you to circle back to say, okay, or maybe I'm not looking at it from this angle, or it would be good to consider. One of the people that I sense check by is my husband, right? One of the people. Again, it will please you to know that my husband is not in IT, zilch. My husband is in finance. So again, he's very logical in his thinking. He's pragmatic. I'm not very like that. So it helps to balance it, right? So I bounce ideas because I want to get, maybe there's a logical angle to it that I am not seeing. But again, that's my husband. So I don't expect him to steal my idea because we make the money together, isn't it? But I'm just saying that have someone that you can be accountable to. This is something that I do. I have a group of people that we have accountability sessions once in 2 months, right? Once in 2 months. And they are very brutal. We are brutally truthful with each other, like brutally truthful. And we are not brutally truthful because we want to bring each other down. No, we're truthful with each other because we want to see each other grow. We want to sense check that, oh, okay, Tolu, I think you're doing too much. Slow down, girl. Slow down. You need to have those kind of people in your corner, right? And they help you get out of that zone that maybe you're just in. I've got this all figured out, I've got this all done. No, they help you stay at alert and be agile. Really, again, that's a mindset that you as a person should have. But don't be afraid of anyone stealing your idea. Let me just look for someone's name. Paula is unique. Paula is herself. The way Paula would deliver on anything is totally different from anyone in this world. And so no one can steal your idea execution. No one. FOMO is the fear of missing out. Sometimes when I wake up to LinkedIn, not wake up like I just wake up and I take my system and I start to check. No, and maybe when I just go there again, I like to be very truthful and practical. Like I said, this is real with you. And I check my LinkedIn and I see people go, I'm happy to announce, and it's good. Please don't get me wrong. It's good. I'm happy to announce. This, and sometimes maybe I'm in the journey of achieving something, and I'm not at that point in time. I'm not happy to announce anything. It's possible that I can start feeling like I'm missing out on something, or maybe I just open my phone and it can be a lot. Sometimes it can be a whole lot, and that's why we need to be able to balance all of this. What are your priorities? right? Go by your priorities, but be agile, be flexible enough to change your mind when the facts change. But don't be afraid of missing out. So far, you have your priorities set. So far, you're doing the right thing. Don't be complacent, but don't be afraid of missing out. Don't let the victories of others drown your own victory. Don't let the impact of their where they are drown your own. Don't feel like you're missing out, because we all have journeys. Again, this is my own journey. We all have journeys that we're going through, right? I might not be in that place at the moment, but I'm working towards going there. See the timeline I gave. I'm sure that this time next year it will be different. Oh, it will be so different, right? So again, the fear of missing out always gets people in a panic, always gets them paralyzed. But just focus. So in as much as I'm calling out all these real challenges, I'm also calling out what you can do. Focus, have what you're running with. Again, sometimes it's okay to miss out on some deadlines, because there are some things that you do not have control over. But don't be complacent, be resilient, because we can all do it. Lack of confidence. This is real, because there are a lot of times where you feel like, can I do this? Really? Like maybe you're standing in front of a crowd. And I think for me, since while I was a kid, I always speak. So I come from a family of four, an extended of seven. Um, my siblings usually put me in front to be the speaker for the whole clan, and is I had that confidence, right? And this is not to say, even though it was like that when I was growing up, there are not times where I go into a room and I'm like, oh, what do I want to say to this person? There no there've been times like that. There've been times like that. However, we always need to balance it. I mean, you can do it. That's what it is. I mean, just follow boring Nike slogan. You can. So might as well just do it. I think I want to run with time that I have allocated. I mean, turning these challenges into opportunities. I have subtly spoken about it. And one thing I would bring reference to is how when I was working with the unicorn, um, I identified a gap, and what we did was to create a loyalty solution that helped us retain our customers and helped us be the go-to provider for that service. And this loyalty solution was novel; it did not exist. But right now, as at before I left, we had provided it to the top. I mean, we had provided this service to Guinness. We had provided this to Unilever. We had provided to the top brands. And this just started from identifying a problem that we saw that was there, and building it from the scratch. So again, your ability to be able to um, um, your ability to be able to identify these challenges and turn them to opportunities is there. So I'll just go back to my story of how I started building Joyd, right? And like I said, it happened. I mean, I experienced it, but I did not even realize that that was what it was called. Um, but my family friend got it, and like I said, it was psychotic, right? And it just made me realize, because I saw the how she was and all of that. It just made me realize that the support that she needed wasn't available. And then I started to think, how can I solve this problem? And even though I saw it in one person, you see that my morale has gone down, because I'm just remembering how that went. It wasn't a pleasant situation. And it was her first time, so it was a difficult time. However, I started talking to several people, And I realized that sometimes it's not when you have your first child, sometimes when you have your second, it usually happens as well. It made me realize that there's a cultural aspect to it, that there's a stigma around when I say, for instance, I don't like how I'm feeling about my child, and people cannot relate with it, and they start to judge me because they don't understand what I'm going through. It just made me realize that it was a challenge, and they needed to be a safe place where people can talk about it and heal. People can talk about it and move on. And that's the sole reason behind this app that I'm building. And just to mention, like I said, like I said, I don't have shame. I'm also open to hearing people's stories of postnatal depression and how they went through it. It helps enforce the relatability of it. That one, I'm not the only one. I'm not mad. Um, and if Tolu can go through it and come out, I can. It helps again to develop resilience and adaptability to navigate markets. So there are a lot of things that are happening right now in the gaming sector. I'm just speaking to gaming sector because that's one of the things that the app has. Games, very beautiful games that we're building, right? It has helped me to be resilient, right? Again, when you are turning challenges to opportunities, it just helps you to have that bounce back mechanism, ability to navigate the tides of things in the industry or in the vertical where you're at, whether it be food, whether it be nutrition, whether it be community building. I mean, whatever problem that you're solving, when you turn the challenges that you face into opportunities, you become resilient and you're able to share your story and encourage or motivate or inspire someone. Another thing that I did was to enroll for an AI course. And like I said, I want to be invested in myself as much as being invested in the platform I'm building. And so what I did was to enroll for that AI course. At the end of the 3 months of that course, I I changed my mind because I thought that I could code. I had this grand picture of myself just coding and just spawning ideas and just bringing them, you know. But again, the facts were different. After the second, I mean, in the second month, I knew without a shadow of doubt that I would not code. I would learn. I would know the lingo, but that's all it is. But again, I understand. I have a fair knowledge, baseline knowledge of what it is, because in everything that you do, in turning challenges to opportunities, you need to stay curious, right? Your mind needs to be curious, and you need to understand that a lot of things are changing, a lot of things are evolving. I mean, I don't think we can ever get over 2020 and COVID and the impact that it's had in so many businesses, so many lives. But the fact that you just stay curious to what is happening in the industry that you're servicing, or what is happening in the industry that you are working in, it helps you to understand how to use technology to scale, right? I mean, just align yourself with information. It helps you, speaking to the next point, helps you to be agile and keep learning. Again, like I said, my mindset in coming to this meeting is one of my mantras: learn, unlearn, and relearn, right? That's what I aim to do. And another thing is, we need to understand that challenges are not roadblocks, they are just stepping stones to success. So I'll just go quickly into my last two slides: building a go-to-market strategy. And I'm available to help anyone, where you have any challenges with regards to developing a go-to-market strategy. You cannot you can reach out to me. We cannot overrule the fact of market research. You need to understand what your market is. You need to understand what your customers are saying. You need to understand who your target, your SAM, your TAM. You need to understand those nuances, the addressable market. You need to understand their pain points so that what you're selling is value. It's not your perception of value, is their own perception of value. And when you have value to sell, to be honest, your customers will be open to tell somebody, and that's just how the rippling effect would work. Your value proposition needs to be concise. It doesn't need to be too much words. I mean, let it be precise, let it be punchy. Again, we have tools today that can help you craft and bring to life a lot of things that is in your mind, right? You can engage those tools, chat gpt, there's grok, there are lots, there's perplexity. You can engage them. Understand what your distribution channels are. Are your customers online or your customers are offline? Right? You know who your customers are when you've done your market research, and you know how to engage with them. Are you in manufacturing? Are you in health? Are you in digital content? I mean, just know who your customers are, whether they are businesses, whether there's the government, whether they are consumers. So it's either B2B, B2G, B2C, or B2B2C. Again, those indices you need to know, and tailor your businesses. Focus on collaboration, right? It would be good in this meeting to know what anyone is doing and how it can help, right? That would help us a lot. That, is just one step in the right direction. The other thing that I wanted to share, which is what I'm doing, is to start small, get feedback, iterate quickly, and then refine based on the feedback that you have gotten. Because in as much as maybe you are one segment of your user, you need the other users to give you feedback, to iterate, to build. um Again, lastly, this is just to enforce that communication in selling is key. Like I said, you don't need to use the fancy words to get your customers. Sometimes catchy punch words are good. That's why now, when you're posting something on LinkedIn, you have the hook, just to get their attention. Again, you can reach out to communication specialists, or you can use communication tools, right, to get all of this. Just make it as effective as possible. Listen to understand what your customers want. Storytelling is beautiful. For instance, I'm sure you will not forget that I said that my siblings used to put me in front when we have to speak about something to my parents. So I was the moderator, right? So again, that sort of resonates with, right, who I am. And but storytelling helps your pitch stick more, and be confident and authentic with what you're saying, right? Like I said, there's only one Tolulope Abikoye in this world, and no one can fake what I'm doing. Do you get what I mean? In scaling your business, as we grow up, just build a strong foundation. Have your mission, have your vision, have your framework set in place. Again, all of these things can change with time, but it's essential that you have a template that you're working with. You cannot overemphasize that you need your customers. So speak to what is value, and make sure that you are excellent. What is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Excellence has always proven to be key. Go to the Middle East, they do things with excellence a lot. And like I said, some things will speak more for you than your mouth, right? Your work will speak more for you, and that value is what you cannot, just play with. Expand strategically. You don't need to do what everyone is doing at every point in time. Just know where you are, to be mindful of where you want to be, and let that picture guide you. Prioritize self-care. Take care of yourself, maintain your energy, and focus on growth. Conclusively for me, I just want to leave you with this point. Your challenges, right, can become opportunities. It's all left for you. Your go-to-market strategies for your businesses would help you drive your success. Focus on your customers because they are key. Listen to their feedback because it will help you drive value. You as a person, Tolu Abikoye, I like to talk to myself as third question. Be resilient. Know that you can. Like Elena Roosevelt said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So sometimes your dreams don't have to be all made up. Sometimes it's a step in the right direction. So yeah, thank you. And yes, so I am happy to take any questions. There's actually supposed to be an animation on this slide, but I guess it's not working. But this is supposed to be my thank you slide. So yeah, question. So I would go to the
So much
question.
to I will
Okay,
quickly let anyone know that at the bottom you have a beautiful purple button.
okay, okay. So should I just go ahead with I can see some questions that I can respond to.
I'm sorry, I think I lost you for a moment.
Okay, I was asking, there are some questions that have been submitted. Can I address those questions now?
Sure, yeah, we already have three questions. And if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to ask them.
Okay. So you say, if I had to start my business journey over today, what would I do differently or exactly the same? So if I were to start, maybe let me speak to the business that I started in January. What I would have done differently before I started was to do my market research. I did not do market research. I just saw the problem and I just decided that, oh, it was a problem. I did not take time to understand who my target audience were, who I was going to sell the solution to. But I saw that it was a problem. I saw that it was huge because I saw numbers. And that again, because I'm revenue driven, that just got my head popping. I'm like, oh. And I did not do market research properly. So again, that business has gone dormant. However, with what I'm building with Connecting Hands and Joyed, right? I would not do anything differently. Oh, I was ambitious with my goal. I applied just because I wanted to get feedback. I made several applications, and one of them was because I wanted to get feedback. I joined accelerators, and again, some people feel like, okay, maybe I haven't worked for almost 15 years. I shouldn't join any accelerator. You should have it all. No, like I said, my mantra is unlearn, relearn, learn. And so I am happy that I joined those accelerator programs because it helped me reinstate what I knew. It helped me meet a larger network that have been very instrumental to the growth of the company at the moment. So um, I would to be honest, I'll just continue to go out there. So for Joy, I would not change anything, and I would always seek out information in this business journey route, right? That I am in. So the other question is, it can get overwhelming staying on top of all the info flow. How do you manage or prioritize what kind of information and startup support resources you stay updated on? Oh, thank you so much. Um, when I started connecting hands, like I said, got I got notification. I'm getting notification from several. I joined several. That's because I think one of the things that drove that was FOMO, fear of missing out, because I didn't want to miss out on an application. I didn't want to miss out on events that were relevant. I didn't want to miss out on a number of things. But I realized that it was fear that was driving that, and so I do a lot of self check, right? So self check is one. I filtered the subscription that I aligned myself with, because one, maybe it could be in my box for 1 month and I have not checked it. What's the point? Right? So I filtered to the most important and the most aligned. And so I was following those ones. I regularly I use digital tools, but I also have my to-do book, right? It's somewhere here on my table, right? That I use to guide what I'm meant to do, and I tick it, right? To be able to say, for instance, okay, this is what I've done. I give myself half mark, I give myself full mark, I give myself fail. And I am very brutal with myself. And that's not because I want to bring myself down, like, who am I helping? No. That's because I want to be aligned with what my priorities are. So when I feel overwhelmed, I filter. When I feel overwhelmed, I prioritize. When I feel overwhelmed, I write it down, like what I'm meant to do, and I go back. Again, there are tools today that can help you with prioritizing. I think Trello helps you to do that. So you can have those tools and it sends you notification. But I am still old school, so I use my pen and paper, and which is fine. Nobody's going to kill me for that. Do you get what I mean? So um have accountability sessions. You can be accountable with yourself, right? But if you have people that you trust that would be ask you those hard questions, you can understand what your business is and focus in that direction. There are events that are happening all year round, all month round, but you don't necessarily have to go to all. You can check the agendas of event. If it aligns with what you want, what you're looking for, then you can do that. I hope I answered your first question, Jasmine. So yeah, the other question is to say you've led multi-million, oh amen, dollar campaigns. What are the key ingredients for scaling a business sustainably, especially as a woman in a male dominated sector? To be honest, I think I missed out on saying that have a mentor, have a coach, because what the coach or the mentor has seen in their shared experience. So it's not just their knowledge. As a mentor, it's not just your knowledge. You have several people that you have mentored and coached, that a lot of times one of the things that one person has done will be relevant to another. So have a mentor, have a coach, have someone that you can rely on for advice or counsel. Again, being sustainable with business, you cannot downplay the role of excellence. So whether you're speaking to whether it's even 100,000 business or a multi-million business, please do not downplay the role of excellence. What is what doing is what doing well. Like I said, your achievements, your works will speak more for you than your gender. So let me just go to the last one. Yes, so she says I was in a business for 15 years. After this, I was working for an NGO sector. That's data. How can I identify priorities for the first stage? And I'm new in the field that is linked to my grandmother's name, who is a well-known name. I want to. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading everything. So let me read it properly. Thanks a lot for the amazing advice. I was in a business for 15 years. After this, I was working in an NGO sector. Now I'm back to the business. How can I identify priorities for the first stage? I'm in a new field, but it is linked to my grandmother's name, who is a well known person because of her book, The Georgian Cuisine. Wow. I want to start culinary master classes and also other new innovative services. The question about my next step and priorities. Okay. So to be honest, in this in this field, you need to know who your competition is. And one of the things about knowing who your competition is not because you want to copy what they're doing. You want to know what they're not doing. You want to know what the problem is that they're not solving. Because a lot of people say that there's no new idea. I don't completely agree, but let's leave that. There's no new idea. However, when you understand what people are doing already, you know that, okay, Tolu, maybe I shouldn't reinvent the wheel. Maybe I should take it a notch further. They are not they're having maybe they're into water bottles, for instance, and maybe the review on their page is, I would like these water bottles, I would like to be able to customize my name or I like it to be in a color that, I mean, just something. But by knowing your competition, you don't only know who you are staked against, but you know what has been done and what is not being done. So that's one of the first stage, what on the first stage that I'll say, just do your market research. Again, it's fantastic that that you have a name that helps you, that gives you a level up. And somehow you might say, you just want to meet up with what your grandma, God bless her, has set up. But again, you are your own competition. You're not filling your grandma's shoes, you are filling your shoes. So please do your market research properly, know who your competition are, know what they are not doing, and that will give you an understanding of what your customers want and what you should be doing. I hope that answers your question. Yes, so that's all the answers for me. If you have any more, I'm happy to answer. My name on LinkedIn is Tolulope Abikoye. Please follow me. Please give feedback on Joyed, and that's what I'm working on. And like I said, I've learned from. I mean, I'm going to go through the comments again because I wasn't able. I was just focused on the presentation, and to just learn out of what we're all saying. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tolu, for this very insightful and valuable presentation and webinar. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And before wrapping up today's webinar, I want to mention quite a few things. So, first of all, those who are going through imposter syndrome, because as Tola mentioned, confidence is a very big thing, and we often go through um, self-doubt, right? Thinking if I'm selling the right product, or if my customers really need it, or is it just something that I need and I want to present to my customers. So for those ladies, we have designed a group coaching program, which is called Empower. Unfortunately, the deadline is over, but we are going to kickstart with our cohort very soon. And if you want to join, you can keep an eye on our next cohort, which is going to start in September. Here in the group chat, I'm going to leave link to our membership form and our website, because that's where you will find all the information. So if you fill out the membership form, we will make sure to keep you updated on our upcoming webinars, events, and services as well. And then it's great that Tolu, you mentioned mentorship, right? That the lack of mentorship. So we do provide coaching and mentorship as well, and especially since we work with women, we have this female perspective. So if anyone needs guidance, support, mentoring, or coaching, I mean individual one, then please feel free to reach us out. I'm gonna leave our email just in case you want to directly reach out with your inquiries. And other than that, we are going to have a retreat for female entrepreneurs in September. I hope to see you among us. For more information, keep an eye on our social media and website. I hope to see you among us, Tolu, as well.
Yeah.
And we have a new program called it's more like a social project called How She Did It. If you know any inspiring women in your network, or if it's you, please feel free to nominate yourself. On our website, we have a How She Did It button where you can go and see all the instructions. So it's another form you will fill in and nominate someone who is inspiring you right now, or who has inspired you at a certain point in your life. That's briefly what we do and our upcoming projects. And now in the group chat, if anyone wants to leave their LinkedIn so that they can reach out to each other and keep in touch, then please feel free to do so. We've got a bit of time for more questions if you still feel like there is something you'd like to ask. And in the end, you are supposed to get a quick survey to measure how impactful this event was for you, and what kind of topics you'd like us to cover for our next webinars. And since the platform is new, we are testing it ourselves. So that's why I hope you will get the survey as soon as the webcast is done. So please take just a couple of minutes to fill it in because it's a very quick survey, but it's important for us to see how much value you gained out of this. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining and your questions. It was really, really great to
Yeah.
have you here. And I'm grateful to Tolu and to our audience for joining today because I know it's Saturday morning and you could be just hurkling, dirkling in your bed,
Yeah.
but you you joined us, which I'm very grateful for.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Such an honor to, yeah, do this on a Saturday morning. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. Such an honor for me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
And the webinar will be available on demand. So if anyone wants to receive the recording, please reach us out via the email that I've left here in the group chat so that we can send it to you. If some of you missed something or joined later, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Okay, everyone. I don't see any questions so far. So if there are no questions, then I think everyone is happy to go on with their Saturday because we don't want to keep you too long. And again, have a lovely weekend ahead, everyone. And best of luck to you if you're running your own businesses or aspiring to start your own businesses. It's a very challenging journey, but it's very rewarding.
Absolutely.
So I wish you all best of luck and hope to stay connected. Thank you, Tolu, and
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, Tara. You're doing fantastic. Thank you so much for
You
having
did a
me.
great job too. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks. Okay. Bye now, everyone. Take care. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Arina. Thank you so much.